right, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is October 20, 2010. Thank you so very much for joining us here tonight. Truth Brigade on AmericanFreedomRadio.com and other affiliates. Thanks so much for being here tonight. We have an awesome show in store for you. I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Geo of Truth Frequency Radio tonight. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing great, and it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to speaking with this guest because wolves have fascinated me all of my life. As a matter of fact, in some of my ayahuasca experiences, I've actually seen wolves jump into me. So that's going to be great to be able to share that energy.
Maybe a wolf is your animal totem. I tell you about the energies. I mean, I've been so blessed to go out to the high desert in New Mexico at the Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary, which he runs. You can find out more about it at wildspiritwolfsanctuary.org. But I'm telling you, being able to connect with and call on that spirit is so amazing, so raw, so real, I mean, it's really indescribable. So, yeah, he has a really cool story. He started out just volunteering at the sanctuary. He lived in the neighborhood 1 or 2 days a week, and now he's the executive director, owner of this sanctuary. They have over 50 wolves at any given time, even cute little fox, Romeo, who stole my visor, tried to bury it, and he's just, really, really good person. He's doing a wonderful thing, because the sad fact of the matter is people don't really know what they're getting into when they think they're going to take a wolf as a pet, or they think they're going to tame him or whatever, and then they realize, oops, this is a wolf, and then, after they've been domesticated to a certain extent, they can't really put them back out in the wild, so they get sent to Leyton Cougar, our guest tonight, and he's just doing a wonderful thing. Have you, Chris, been able to hang out with wolves?
I haven't, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, definitely. I think my spirit animal is more the bear. I don't know why. I'm always real connected to bears, but I think the wolf does play a big part of my personality.
I can see the bear, for sure. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? He has a lot of knowledge about animal totems and the medicine wheel, so not sure if we're going to, I'm going to hopefully at least be able to scratch the surface with him tonight, but we'll definitely bring him back to go delve further into that and the native beliefs. And but, yeah, just an amazing man. And I had such an amazing time out there. We even got to feed him. We got to kiss him, love him, hug him, roll around with him. I got a couple, I got one little nip, a little love nip, and then a hole in his shirt, and of course my visor buried as a souvenir. But what a lovely time. It's wildspiritwolfsanctuary.org. But we will be right back after this short break. Truth Brigade Radio. Come back. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight, Christie, Aphrodite, and Chris Geo on Truth Brigade Radio. Our special guest tonight, Leyton Cougar. He is the director of Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary in New Mexico. You can find out more about that at wildspiritwolfsanctuary.org. If you would like to join us for the text chat tonight, that's over at truthbrigade.com. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call at 402-237-2525. That's 402-AFR-2525. It is so good to have you here tonight, Leyton. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Well, we have some good news tomorrow. Your very long-awaited book is coming out.
Yeah, one of two. Our first book. It's called A Wolf and His Man.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's really just sort of a short.
Tonight.
It's sort of a short story of the relationship that I had with a beautiful black and silver timber wolf for 12 years, traveling around the country, doing education about wolves and meeting gazillions of people. It's got 120 full-color photographs of just the things that we've done together and his life progression from a beautiful black, stunning midnight black wolf to becoming silvered out. So it's kind of exciting for us.
Oh, wow. Well, see, I was out there, so I got to hear some of the stories, but I am positive. I mean, I can't wait for the book. To hear everything. You have such a beautiful relationship with these animals, and so much to talk about tonight. But if you could just kind of give us the Cliff Notes version. How did you get here? How did you go from just volunteering 1 or 2 days a week to completely running the show at the Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary?
Well, it was kind of a long progression. I moved into the neighborhood. I knew the ladies who had started this project a few years before they actually started it, and then I ended up moving in the neighborhood and would drop by and visit every once in a while. But, over time I just got tired of seeing garbage and things falling down where, two women already at retirement age who started this project, and they just needed a young buck's help. And so I came and I said, I think you need my help. And they said, oh, we do? I said, yeah, you do. And so I started volunteering. And then I ended up never leaving. I mean, I'd stay day and night every day, and I actually stayed away for the first couple of years because I knew I was going to fall in love and I didn't want to be trapped. So I fell in love, and now I don't feel trapped. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. So I started in 1996 and took the company over in 2003, and we've come a long way. So.
Wow. Now, did you have experience with wolves or animals in the wild before this?
Well, no, not really, not technically, but I grew up as a farm boy, and I've just had, encounters with lots of animals, wild and domestic. Living on a farm, there's always critters of all kinds. And then as a young adult, when I left the farm, like we always tend to do, and moved to L.A., once I felt trapped in the L.A. jungle, I needed an escape route, so I started volunteering at the L.A. Zoo. And I did that for several years to sort of just get my wilderness animal retreat on a regular basis. So I hung out at the L.A. Zoo probably a little bit too much, and that was sort of the way I survived the big city. And then I escaped L.A. and moved to New Mexico, and so here I am.
Excellent. I escaped out of California, too. It was a difficult one, but...
yeah, it is for lots of folks.
Spot.
So it's, this is our labor of love. This is a work in progress. We're by no means a finished product, and I definitely want everyone in the world to look at our website and to watch our videos and to see what we're doing on a regular basis and participate in some form or fashion.
Absolutely. And you're on Facebook and YouTube, and once again, the main site is wildspiritwolfsanctuary.org, and then your new site is wolfdaddy.org, but you can link to that from the sanctuary site.
Yeah, it's not up and running yet, actually. I just, my web guy, a good friend of mine, he plans on having it up in just a matter of days. Once I can get him some more graphics, he'll have it cooking, and it's going to be really quite an extensive website when it's all done. We'll have lots of different areas, from the wolf sanctuary to my life with wolves, to the other rescues that I do, because I rescue any canine pretty much in need. And I'm also going to tag a few pages dealing with just our spiritual lives and getting in touch with yourself and nature and the spirit of the wolf, and how that can help us out mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
And you know quite a bit about animal totems or animal medicine as well. Is that something that you teach at the sanctuary as well?
Well, not really at the sanctuary, because the sanctuary I really do try to focus mostly on the rescue and the rehabilitation and the providing a permanent lifetime sanctuary for the animals. But I do have special events, one that you attended, as a matter of fact, and for people to know. And I do a couple other workshops with some other very in tune sort of spiritual people, that really helps out. But for my personal life, I've spent a number of years in my younger days, in my mid-20s and 30s, spending a lot of time with medicine people from a few different tribes around our country, intently, not casually at all. I spent 6 years immersed in Native American spirituality and just earth medicine ways and that sort of thing prior to me moving out here and being with the wolves. I think it all sort of fit in over time. It all fit in perfectly. It's hard for us to really know what the universe has in store for us, but it's interesting that when we look back in time, we can see that the universe set it all up. It was all laid out for us.
Perfectly, huh?
Yeah, because when I was inducted into the Wolf Clan, I didn't give a hoot whatsoever about Wolf Clan. I just wanted to learn about earth medicine and nature and spirituality. The wolf thing meant nothing to me, and now, of course, it means most everything. So,
yeah.
So, when an angry young man goes from, not giving a hoot about some things, and then, then a more understanding, quiet, more passionate older man has it kind of getting it figured out.
Absolutely. I feel like I should turn this over to Chris, but let me ask you one more question, and then, Chris, please take over. But this sanctuary, why does it exist?
It exists because there's a lot of stupid people out on planet Earth. Pardon me, stupid people, but I'm calling you what you are. People who take wild animals and try to make them pets. And, my passion is wolves, but there's still lots of other wild animals that need rescue and permanent lifetime sanctuary. But there's a phenomenon out there that people think that they can own a wild animal. And the wolf tends to be one of the more popular ones because it appears to look like a dog, and people feel like, if I get a wolf as a puppy and I raise it like a dog, it'll grow up just like a dog. Well, that's just absurd. That's like me saying if I buy a chimpanzee and I raise it like my daughter, it'll grow up to be a supermodel. It'll still be a chimpanzee, and I'm not going to change what it is. So we can't make a wolf act like a dog, nor can we make a dog act like a wolf, but so many people think they have the magic that can do it, and the fact of the matter is that most people don't, and most people don't know how a wolf thinks. They have no doggy thoughts, no doggy desires, no doggy daydreams. They will never sit, stay, come when they're called, roll over, play dead, or fetch your slippers, but they would gladly destroy all the furniture in your home, make a moonscape out of your backyard, jump over your meager 6-foot fence, kill your neighbor's cat, harass your neighbor's dog, and get you in a boatload of trouble. So, but they do it anyway. So there's a serious need for rescue. My life has been inundated in the last 30 days with rescues. Hundreds of dogs and wolves in need. Today I've got 2 phone calls, totally up of about 14 animals in need in 2 different states. And I can't save them all because I'm not a multi-billionaire. As a matter of fact, I make minimum wage. So I can't save them all. I have to beg for money to help these animals. So it's a real tough job.
Well, how can people help out? Is there a website that they can go to help the cause?
Absolutely. WildSpiritWolfSanctuary.org. We have a Donate Now button, and people can go there and just click that on and donate online. But you know what? Even moreover than just someone sending us some money, we need that and we love that. But sharing us with everybody is the way that we're going to really be able to make an impact. The more people that know us, the more opportunity we have to solicit for help, and the more people that'll be there to help us out. So share our website, find my YouTube site, send out if you find a video you love, send it to gobs of friends. And as a matter of fact, if you go to our website now, and in the next few more days, we've got a few more days left. We're in the running for a $50,000 grant from the Pepsi-Cola company, provided we get enough votes for our sanctuary. So I want people to log on to our website, click on that link, and vote for us at least 10 times in the next few days. That can really help.
And you've got this 5th annual Halloween party that you're doing on October 23rd, correct?
Yeah, and it's going to be so much fun. We do this every year, and then what we do is, we start out at 11 o'clock and we get in the morning, and we pretty much wind it down at about 11 o'clock at night. But we have all kinds of fun things. We have a pumpkin carving contest, and after people have carved pumpkins and stuffed them with all kinds of awesome goodies that wolves love, we're going to take a walk around, and we're going to deliver those pumpkins to each and every wolf, let them open up and see the surprises inside, which is a great photo opportunity to see animals doing something bizarre, as much as opening up a pumpkin and getting the goodies out. And then we're going to have a mystery theater walk through the compound after dark and tell a big long story and see if people can get the clues and figure out the mystery of what happened. And then after that, aside from dinner in between and whatnot, we're going to then take a trek across the road to our campsite. We have a 40-acre campground, and we're going to put up a big bonfire, and we're gonna have some fun, and then we're going to get a little serious and a little sad and teary-eyed because I'm going to do a ceremony and talk about the animals who have passed over the last year and give their ashes away to the fire. And then we'll bring about some levity again and then send everybody on home or to their campsite. So it's a great day.
Excellent. Now, I do have to ask, though, are you going to dress them up in sheep's clothing?
What a dandy idea. If they wouldn't bite our arms off while we're trying to put sheep's clothing on them, we would do that. But no, that's a good thought. I hadn't actually thought of that one, but we'll keep that in mind for next year. Yeah. So.
What are some of the challenges?
I'm sorry, Chris. What was that?
No, I was going to say, what are some of the challenges that you run into when you're dealing with these wolves? I mean, you're taking in very wild animals off of their regular habitat and putting them into the sanctuary, and it is a lot similar to them, but they're getting, I would imagine for the first time, human interaction.
No.
What is that like?
No. What we do is we rescue captive bred wolves from humans who have tried to make them pets. I never deal with an animal in the wild. That's for wild animal rehabs and the government, not us. So all of these animals in our sanctuary, in some form or fashion, have been in some kind of a domestic situation, with the exception of 4 animals here who are in a zoo. So every animal, like just today, just one half an hour ago, we got a brand new animal from Scottsdale, Arizona. Giant wolf who was in a crisis situation. The person who was caretaking it became instantly terminally ill, and family members had to come and take care of the animal for a few days until we could get there and get him out of that situation and get him into a sanctuary. So, yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Okay, I see.
So you've rescued some from zoos and right. Such as well.
Yeah, we have 3.
A lot of business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when a wolf is in trouble and needs a new place to go. See, if we hadn't taken these wolves, they'd be dead. The zoo would have probably just sent them off and had them executed and just forgot about them. But we jumped in and said, yes, we're going to take these animals. And so we have 3 beautiful tundra wolves that came from a zoo that was closing down in Iowa. But most of them come from some kind of crazy, insane domestic situation where they should have never been. And a few actually even came straight from a breeding operation that never actually made it to the sales realm, never got sold, never had to go through the torment and the abuse of a wild animal being in a weird domestic situation. They went straight from being 19 days old at a breeder to coming to our sanctuary. Wow, there's a big clap of thunder just now when I said that. Getting ready to storm
nice. Sounds beautiful.
So what else?
How do you feed them?
How do we feed them?
Yes.
Let me tell you guys something. This is really, really exciting. No one's going to believe this, and some people are going to go, what the heck are you doing, Leyton? But I'll tell you what. This week, my wolves and dogs ate around $18,000 worth of Kobe beef.
Wow.
We got it all for free, and they ate like princesses and princes, just kings and queens. They had a great meal. Of course, they didn't know it was massaged beef. They didn't know it was Kobe beef. It was just meat for them. But the way we feed them is that we get meat donations from 3 separate sources: wild game from a wild game processor, Walmart, a local Walmart that's about 65 miles away. That's local for us. And then also another company, Shamrock Foods, that delivers to restaurants and grocery stores and such. So anytime meat is slightly out of date or has rose above the proper temperature, or the hunters don't want it, we get it. So we literally process nearly 6,000 pounds of meat a week, which is processed into bread pans and formed into loaves that are frozen, and then we deliver those frozen loaves to the wolves 5 days a week, and that's how we do it.
Awesome. And, I got to take part in the feeding process.
You sure did.
One morning, which was beautiful, but we'll talk about that when we come back from this short break. Leyton Cougar, he is the director of Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary. WildSpiritWolfSanctuary.org is the website. Stay tuned. Truth Brigade Radio. All right, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Truth Brigade on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with our special guest tonight, Leyton Cougar. He is the director of Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary. And don't forget to vote for them in the Pepsi, that contest. I posted the link in the text chat, and I'll do it again here. But you can go to refresheverything.com/wildspirit, and that'll take you right to the page where you can vote for them, because, it is a lot of work going all over the country and coordinating 6,000 pounds of food to take care of these wolves. And, I was out there, and I can attest they are definitely being taken care of well. Of course, I went with Tobias Lars, Spirit Travel Adventures. You can go to spirittravel.com. So we kind of had maybe a little more of an inside adventure, I guess, than most people. So I guess one of the things that aren't typical is that we got to help feed them and, of course, leave it to me. Leyton gave us 3 rules. I think we broke them all with what? Our first attempt, Leyton?
Yeah, well, that's just the way the beginners go. But that's okay, Everybody got to eat.
And what were those 3 rules again?
Well, I honestly can't tell you what exactly. I probably made it up, but no. The main thing is that you listen and deliver timely, because what happens, and and it happened this morning. We had an amateur feeding, and I was standing by, fortunately, and a similar thing that happened with you is that somebody delivered a loaf a little bit too slow, and one wolf got 2 loaves and hoarded it. And so I had to go in and say, "That's not your food, buddy. You got to give that up." Of course, he wasn't happy to give that up.
I think one of us got hooked in the tree.
Well, oh, the tree. Yes, you got one in the tree, didn't you?
Yeah, one in the tree. You said, no, don't hit the wolves, don't hit the pond, don't hit the trees. So
that's it.
Bart hit the tree, I hit the pond. I might have almost hit a wolf, but I know I almost hit the photographer as it bounced off of that fence. So it's not easy, and I have an arm, okay, I'm a little old and weak and all, but, what Leyton's doing here, of course, you have volunteers that come all throughout the world and dedicate their lives just as you did, volunteering and living on premise, making sure everyone's happy. But there's so much work behind the scenes that people couldn't even think of. We go there to visit and everything looks all perfect and under control. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And first off is, not all wolves like each other. So you go through tremendous lengths to make sure that they're paired up properly and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what it's like bringing new wolves into the sanctuary?
Yeah, we just had that experience today. Just a few, I don't even think an hour ago, a brand new wolf arrived, and the dilemma is, as you know, Christie, we had 5 single wolf girls that needed partners, and we brought in this giant, handsome man. And so the question was, well, what do we do with him? And typically, when we introduce a male to a female, we actually usually don't. We usually introduce a female to a male. Most women don't want some strange dude coming in their house and saying, "Oh, look, I have a new place to live." But the guys tend to not mind so much when a hot babe walks into their place and says, "Hey, I'm going to set up shop here." So today we went in reverse. We actually put a boy in with a girl, and the formula usually is we put a younger male or a older female in with a younger male. That is almost a recipe for success. Not always, but usually. In this case, we put a young male in with an older female in her house. That was Duchess, if you remember Duchess. And she, I think she was mostly nervous because we had a crowd standing around. We have a camera crew here this week getting ready to hopefully sell a TV show to Animal Planet. And so we've been filming all day, and I think that the female was just nervous about the cameras and such. But what we consider, we like to have a match made in heaven, but that doesn't always happen. But what we really care about is that the pair is compatible. They're not going to be angry or arguing with one another. They're not going to be hurting one another or stealing each other's food and that sort of thing. So as long as it's a compatible pair where they're doing well together, they don't have to frolic and play if they don't want to. But we really prefer that they have a good time together. So that's what we did tonight.
Did my girlfriend Cheyenne, did she get a partner?
Actually, my lovely Cheyenne, who I spent some time in this afternoon doing some filming with her, I'm going to Minnesota next week to go pick up a wolf boy, and I think I just get the feeling, I get the vibe that he's going to be the perfect partner for her. So our lovely Cheyenne is going to have herself a handsome young man.
Oh, I love them all, but yeah, that's awesome. Because she's been alone for quite a while, huh?
She's been alone for a year and 4 months. Well, no, I'm sorry.
Cheyenne.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong because I was thinking of when Raven passed away. Who was her original partner? But no, she did have she's been alone since last winter when our little Frosty died from a sudden onset of intestinal infection, which just hurt us all. It just really hurt. It stabbed me in the heart. But yeah, so she's been lonely for just about 1 year, not quite. So
I love her. I loved her attitude and her kind of, I don't need any of you, and just kind of feisty but finicky, but just sweet and wise and, obviously gentle, or she wouldn't have, come kissed us. And,
right.
My goodness, wow, I had so much fun. How's Selena doing?
She's had, since you've been here, she's had a couple really rough days. She's one of our oldest girls here. But she was nice and nasty and feisty when we went up with the film today, being her typical growly, snarly self, so that was nice. I love to hear her growl because that tells me she's feeling okay.
That's great. Now, but as sweet and wonderful and magical as these moments are, the fact is they are wolves, and as good as and deep as your relationships are with them, there is sometimes danger.
Oh yeah. We have to always remember that they are wild animals, and I try to tell the story and preach the subject that we only have 2 types of animals on planet Earth: wild and domestic. And let's don't make a mistake who's who. These wolves are wild animals, in spite of the fact that they were in some sort of domestic type of situation. That doesn't make them domestic. And of course, as you know, and what you're probably alluding to is the last time I got attacked, which was August 11th, 2007, where Nikki decided that I need not ever walk again, and proceeded to eat my legs and spit them out. And fortunately, they're still attached, he did put me out of commission for a few months, but
oh no,
those kinds of things happen, and you know, and I tell everybody, yes, look at the scars on my face, look at the scars on my arms and my legs, and they're all from wolves. They're not childhood bumps and bruises; they're all from wolves.
Wow, but they still love you. I mean, when they do that, it's not necessary. I mean, they're not trying to hurt you.
Well, Nicky was definitely, his agenda was to hurt me. His agenda wasn't like, I'm going to go kill this guy. His agenda was, I don't want you in my space, and now you're here. And why are you doing that when I don't want you in my space? And honestly, in my heart of hearts, and in my...
Uh-oh. Who did we lose? Okay, looks like I'm still here. Chris, are you still here?
Oh, yeah, right here. Fascinating conversation.
Okay, looks like we lost Leyton here.